My name is Clarence Kratz. I'm head of Kratz Rail Alignment Tool, and I'm going to demonstrate today and explain a little bit of the device that I developed and had patented for the use of working on guide rail. This device was developed for the purpose of creating a better safety factor in the removal and the installation of guide rail. I worked several years on the state of New York as a highway maintenance supervisor, and was injured several times. Even had my thumb broke, had fellow workers hurt severely when removing damaged guide rail. After retiring, it came to me one day there had to be a better way to be doing this, and this is what developed from it. I will now demonstrate on how this tool is put in place and the sole use of it. Now, in the installation of this tool, when placing it on the guide rail, as you know, the configuration of the guide rails are the same. So allowing the possibility of putting bolts in is almost impossible. By placing this device on the guide rail, as such, putting the locking device on enables these two pieces of guide rail to be put in place. Thereby, the bolts can be very readily dropped into place. However, at times when using repossessed guide rail, it might be bent in a fashion that won't allow the guide rail to come together so that you can put the bolts in. This device here, you place in the hole, turn it, enables you to put the bolt in with no problem. Also, once it is put in there, this device keeps it in place so that it allows the bolt to stay in the fashion you can remove it. This device also is used for putting in several pieces of guide rail in a leapfrog situation. When you putting more than one piece of guide rail up, you can use several of these or two or whatever to put the guide rail together. It is a tremendous safety factor in the placing of guide rail, due to the fact that when guide rail is damaged by automobiles or any other reason, it retains a tremendous amount of spring pressure. And when removing it, after taking the bolts out of the guide rail, is when the safety factor comes into place. This being spring-loaded can be very easily released by releasing the pressure that's on the guide rail by unlocking the safety device and opening this, enabling the guide rail to come apart and releasing this initial pressure. Once again, it allows, besides two flagmen, just a couple of workmen cutting back on labor, number one. Number two, it also is a tremendous amount of time saver. It cuts back probably in the neighborhood of right around 80% of the time it takes to put this together. I have over the years used chain binders, and also have used C-clamps to try to put this together. The chain binder, it hooks on the bottom here on the top and brings the two webs together, but offers no pressure in the center. The C-clamp puts pressure in the center, but allows no pressure on the outside. But this device here, it does both. It puts pressure on the inside. Also, it pulls these together putting this guide rail into permanent configuration and enabling you to assemble it in a reasonable fashion. Also, this device has two slotted ends which can be hooked over the H-beam, and then enables you to hook the guide rail over the H-beam while placing the center bolt into the post. See what that looks like.